Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Thon, all right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity, all right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, I entitled this lesson, what did I entitle it? One second. Protecting your spirit from perverse vibrations, okay? And you got to do that. The wicked have set up so many traps and snares for you to fall into. All right, even down to your mindset, the things that are pushed here in Babylon the Great, which America is the main corporation the elites use to forward their wicked wine or vibration. Habakkuk 2:5. Um, if you don't have any shield from the evil, if you don't have a shield from your moral compass being skewed or tainted, you can fall victim to this what man's you know spell casting, but the scripture said there's no enchantment against Jacob. But that's for those who are pursuing Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay? So I got a short clip that I'm gonna show you guys of this woman. It's kind of like the experiment you did in elementary school with the plant, where you would, the whole class for a week or two would bully one plant, say mean things to it, and give another plant compliments, and they would be in the windowsill in the same conditions, but that plant that you bullied would die, right? So she's kind of doing a similar experiment with music. And you'll be able to see she's playing music through this rice, and you'll be able to see, again, that visual aid. If it's doing that to rice, what is it doing to the human body? What is it doing to the spirit of a man who's constantly consuming death, right? So with no further ado, I'm gonna run the clip and then we'll speak on it and bring out some precepts and apparatus. It's edifying.
I have an update on the rice experiment. Do you remember Evil Jordan by Playboy Carti? That jar is totally different now. This is the jar now. Look at how much mold has grown. That picture that you just saw was last Tuesday, so coming up to a week. Looking by the level of condensation that's in it. In that first picture, that wasn't there. Even after I stopped playing music to my rice, it continued to grow mold for Evil Jordan. But for Michael Jackson, still hasn't grown any more mold. This is the exact same amount of mold as we saw last Tuesday. As you can see here, literally the exact same thing. If the mold continues to grow even after I stop playing music to the rice, or it doesn't grow anything at all, then what is the long-term impact of listening to this music?
Yeah, the long-term impact is a lot of what you see today. You see the YNs, how they can't even have a reasonable conversation. They can't be concerned with anything past nigga shit. Their spirit has withered. Their aptitude for righteousness, for order, has withered. Okay? And, Elder Yashwama says this all the time. He said, I might listen to some rap music if I'm working out, yeah, because rap music really, a lot of it, it's like war music, is to pump somebody up for confrontation. Okay? When it's not a braggadocious song or a song about adultery. All of it stems around things that are, you know, counterintuitive to a man walking towards Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All of it. But he says, I might listen to it from working out, but if you just wake up in the morning, you turn on some trap music, and that's just how you go about your day, you're going to be in a fucked up spirit, man. How much more? Decades and years and years and years, and every day, that's all you're consuming. Is the spirit of man going to be close and nigh unto the Lord? Majority of the time, man, I'm listening to lessons. If I do listen to music, often the time I might put on some older music. Even in some of the older music, man, like Mrs. Jones, me and Mrs. Jones got a thing. Adultery. It's just like put on some instrumentals or find artists that you like that they just want to make music. They're not. There's not an agenda that's behind them, getting them to forward sadistic and evil things. Gotta guard your eyes and ears. Think about the shows that you watch. a lot of people in America are desensitized to evil because they're perpetually seeing it. It doesn't even dawn on them that this is an evil thing. Being with another man's woman, sadistic and evil. Murder, talking about somebody that looks like you, giving people things that are gonna deteriorate their health. This is a sadistic and very evil thing. It doesn't even dawn on them. They've been desensitized to evil. So, coming into this truth, you want to be guarding your eyes and ears. Obviously, we know we have a greater defense against the enchantments than just the ordinary Jake. All right. Nonetheless, consider what you're consuming. All right. Let's go to Psalms 101 and 3. This is in the NLT. It says, I will refuse to look at anything vile and vulgar. I hate all who deal crookedly. I will have nothing to do with them. So yeah, man, once you know this truth and you know what the Lord's about, you know what makes the Lord upset. It's hard to, vibe with a lot of the shit that's pushed in the society. If you're somebody that fears the Lord and you don't want to offend, you just kind of get to the point where you're like, cut this shit off. Maybe listen to something, maybe some instrumentals I can listen to, different types of music, you know, listen to some old 70s music or something, whatever works for you, but shouldn't be consuming that bullshit all damn day. And obviously again, we know we could filter, we could listen to it and say, hey, I like the beat. But at some point you just gotta get to like, all right, man, I gotta do a little something else. Gotta hear something else. Gotta guard your eyes and ears, man. Because you know that what's being pushed doesn't align with what we're trying to become. Okay, let's go to Matthew 6 and 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, if thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. If you're fully focused on upholding the conduct and the standard that the Lord commissioned us to walk in, which, covers a lot, all right, you're going to be concerned with what you consume. You're going to be concerned with protecting your energy, the company that you keep, the conversations that you have. You're going to be concerned with those things. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? And there's some very dark people out here in the world, man, that you have to encounter every day. Proverbs 4 and 23. I'm gonna read this in the NLT as well. It says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. And your heart is going to be the word la'ah, right? Your mind. You gotta guard it. As what the scripture says, as a man thinketh, so is he, if I'm not mistaken. Um, let's go to Philippians 4 and 8. It says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. So we're supposed to, be in the spirit of constantly meditating on excellence and righteousness, calling out the evil. All right. So if you are consuming bullshit all day, you are on social media just doom scrolling all day. Find another way to spend your time. I always make the statement that was said to me by my grandfather. The Lord put the spirit on him to say that you are what you give your time to. You are what you give your time to, man. So just keep that in mind. I seen that clip, man. I figured I'll respond to it here. And hopefully it was edifying. Try to wean yourself off of the bullshit, man. The music, the shows, reality TV. Like, you shouldn't be watching reality TV. You shouldn't be watching Bad Girls Club, Housewives. Like, what are you getting from that? For the sisters. Like, what are you getting from that? What about that is inspiring you to walk uprightly, to be in righteousness? Because subconsciously, the same way kids, they watch something, they're bound to mimic it. Adults are no different. It may be, you may have to consume more of it to mimic, but you're no different. Don't overestimate yourself. All right? Do the right thing so that you're becoming who you need to become. None of us are finished products. Let's make sure we're watering our plant, our spirit, the right way. All right. So, with that being said, I'm gonna give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Wadash, want to give double honesty, apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone. When it says Shalom to all the brothers, and of course, the few Akwatu who are pursuing this truth and sincerity, and the blessing of election be upon you.